Since 1989, Canada's first televised motorcycle magazine has been covering everything on two wheels. We've sampled new motorcycles from around the globe, toured North America from coast to coast, and interviewed some of the most interesting people on two wheels. So get set to keep your right hand cranked as Toyota Truck presents Motorcycle Experience.
Hello and welcome to Motorcycle Experience, the voice of motorcyclists everywhere. I'm Dave Hatch, and this week we've got a terrific show for you as we check out the new BMW R1200 GS. Also on today's show, my good friend Norm Wells and I will bring you another entry in our BMW Motorrad Ultimate Riding Tour Diary from Newfoundland. Last week we grabbed some great photos in Bonavista. Today, we continue our exploration of the region when we pay a visit to the friendly crew of the Lady Ella. And speaking of ultimate rides, with the score now 2-1 for Brian Hudgen in our 6-part Ultimate Challenge series, today we kick things up a notch when Brian is faced with an adventure rider's worst nightmare, the Deep Woods Flat. Plus, later on, Aliki Karian will continue her Learning Curve series, while our roving reporter Paul Connert will introduce us to another faithful viewer. But first, we start the show with our Ride of the Week, BMW Motorrad Canada's Go Anywhere, Do Anything adventure machine, the R1200 GS. Now, when it comes to adventure riding, over the past 3 decades, BMW Motorrad has continued to define the dual sport riding category. Back in 1980, they launched their first GS, an air-cooled 800cc R80, basically a big dirt bike for the street. Fast forward now some 30-odd years to behold the flat twin-powered R1200 GS. At the heart of this machine is BMW's classic fuel-injected 4-stroke boxer power plant mated to a single-disc dry clutch and a 6-speed gearbox. Soaking up the bumps in the suspension department, up front the R1200 uses BMW's adjustable single-spring telelever fork, while out back the bike's die-cast aluminum single-sided swing arm sports BMW's multi-adjustable paralever system and shaft final drive. Heated grips and center stand are standard, but you can also order up trick features like ABS, automatic stability control, tire pressure control. There's even an onboard computer and electronic suspension adjustment. In the brochure and on the showroom floor, it all looks good. But how does the R1200 GS work in the real world? Well, here now is this week's guest road tester, Jeff Kay. So Jeff, we kind of threw you for a loop this morning. I know you were planning on riding the LT, but instead we threw you on the GS at the last minute. What was your first impression when we rolled it out of the trailer?
Well, you know what? I mean, it is my first time on this bike, and it's an absolute classic machine. And I think that there's a reason that it's a classic. It's because it's the motorcycle that can go anywhere and do anything. I mean, it does it all, and it's got everything. The motor. I had this thing down to less than 60 kilometers an hour in 6th gear just to see if I could get it to lug. Mm-hmm. And you know, you roll the power on and it's all there. You know, it's just got a wide power band. So really, regardless of what speed you're at or what gear you're in, you know, you grab a handful of throttle and it's all there. So it's a very user-friendly machine.
So let's talk about that motor for a moment. It's horizontally opposed. It's been around for donkey's years, as my dad would like to say.
Yeah.
What are the feelings, the sensations you get as you ride this bike from the motor standpoint? Is it loud, quiet?
Well, for me it was sort of counterintuitive because you think that a big twin cylinder like that is going to vibrate. You know, that boxer, you know, the back and forth reciprocating pistons. But it's not. It's a very smooth motor. It's got a beautiful sound. It's got like a nice bottom end kind of a gurgle, rumble to it. Yeah, you know, it's like it sounds the way a motorcycle motor should sound.
Right.
And you can feel it as you're riding, and you can hear it to a degree, but it's in a very pleasant way.
runs nicely. Shifts?
Yeah, shifting is, it's kind of like clicking a ballpoint pen. I mean, it's just, the transmission is tight, the throw is very short, it's very economical. It doesn't take much effort to do.
Right.
You know, shifting up, shifting down, so it's one less thing that you have to worry about, you know, because it happens easily. You don't have to worry about missing a shift. You can concentrate on other things.
Right.
So it's great that way.
Dual discs, ABS, brakes. How'd you find the stopping power?
Well, you know what? The other thing I like too is some of the high-tech suspension on the front end, so that even if you're grabbing a real handful of brake, it really doesn't dive. So it's very progressive, it's smooth, and very level. So if you need to get stopped in a hurry, easy to do. Similarly, with sitting up high like that, if you're doing the quick turning radiuses, you're on some gravel and stuff, it makes you feel very secure that you're not gonna lose the front end, or you're not gonna push the back wheel out. So it's the braking is also just excellent.
How did you find the suspension and the handling of the bike itself through the corners? We had some tight, rough roads today. So how'd you find the suspension?
Well, that's an interesting question, because it's got three different settings. You've got a comfy setting, you've got a normal setting, and then you've got the sports setting. And you can notice the difference. On the comfy setting, it's spongy, but again, the engineering is such that the handling's not affected, even though the ride is softer. And then if you dial it up really just with a quick press of the thumb to the sports setting, you feel the suspension tighten up, firm up. It changes the character of the handling, not dramatically, but enough so that it's worth changing depending on the road conditions.
How did you find the cockpit layout and more importantly the mirrors themselves? Just where your hands fall for the switch gear. This little compound here. What'd you think?
Well, you know what? I mean, if you look at it, it's almost like the mirrors are kind of low tech, right? I mean, there's nothing fancy about these mirrors, but they're classic and they work.
Right.
They're up, high enough so you can see, wide enough so you got a good range of vision behind you. The instrument cluster, again, very simple. You've got a little digital readout here. The TAC, easy to see. Speedometer, it's all right there. I mean, it's utilitarian. There's not a whole lot of fancy stuff there, but there's everything you need.
Jeff, you had a big grin on your face when you got off the bike. Was there anything you didn't like?
You know what? I'm really hard pressed to find anything that I don't like about it. I think it's just a great bike. Like I said, it's a classic bike, and I think it's a classic bike for a reason.
Okay, well, I'm going to take that as a thumbs up.
Yeah, absolutely a thumbs up.
Nice job.
Right, now stay with us. Next, during our visit to Newfoundland, we sample more local flavor and hospitality as we hang with the crew of the Lady Ella. Stay with us. Portions of Motorcycle Experience are brought to you in part by Honda, BMW Motorrad, Closed captioning of this program is provided by Motovan.
Welcome back as Total Truck presents The Experience. I'm Dave Hatch, and it's time for this week's Ultimate Ride. Today, Norm and I are off to meet the friendly crew of the Lady Ella.
During this season's Ultimate Ride, Norm and I have been touring Newfoundland. Last week, we rode about 3.5 hours north of St. John's to explore Highway 230. Our primary destination was the 1497 landing site of John Cabot, better known as Bonavista. Today, this one-time major commercial center is home to some 3,500 inhabitants and a nicely preserved large-scale merchant operation, Ryan's Premises. From Bonavista, we rode about an hour south on Highway 235 to the sleepy fishing village of Somerville in search of a place to grab a bite of lunch. Upon arrival with our stomachs grumbling and no restaurant in sight, we spied the friendly-looking crew of the Lady Ella and promptly inquired about the catch of the day.
Well, Norm, here we are in Somerville, Newfoundland. We're on the south side of Bonavista Bay, and wow, what a great little experience we just had.
Yeah, that was quite amazing. this was another one of these, hey, let's go see what Somerville's all about, and roll into town. And sure enough, as we went by the dock, we saw the guys working away up there. So we got a little bit nosy, walked over to see what was going on, and next thing you know, we're part of the family for about 20 minutes.
Yeah, we had a great tour of the boat, and they let us sample some flounder that had just been caught this morning, and man, just a great example of Newfoundland hospitality, right?
Yeah, perfect experience. I was thinking that as it was all going on. Everybody always talks about how friendly the people are here and how hospitable they are, and I was like, we just lived it there. It was amazing.
So again, another example of, we ask people for days, where to go, what to see, what to do. Nobody said go to Somerville. We just said, looks like it might be a working fishing village. Let's go check it out. And bingo, what a tremendous experience. All day, beautiful scenery, this Bonavista Peninsula, all day. The scenery has been just spectacular.
God, the ocean, the ocean vistas and the coastal roads that we were riding were just amazing, and even the interior roads were beautiful. Good mix of everything though. There was rough roads, smooth roads, gravel roads, so be prepared for everything. And obviously, if you're here, this is September. If you're here in the summertime, there could be a little more traffic and stuff. So be aware of that.
And speaking of traffic, if you're here in the summertime, I think you'll see some whales, icebergs, puffins, all sorts of things. And just keep in mind, if you come this way, make sure you bring a good map, maybe a GPS. We got lost again today. The road signs are not quite what we're used to experiencing back home. So we really missed the turn in for this place.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, from here we're back down to base camp, Clarenville.
Yeah, back to Clarenville via the 235, and that's been base camp for us now last night, and we decided that we're going to make it again tonight. And I guess just a word of advice for people is this Bonavista Peninsula can easily take 2 days if you do everything. I mean, we just kind of skimmed it today. So Clarenville is a great spot to call a home base for the couple of days that you're in the area.
Okay, well, we got another hour or so to go. What a great ultimate ride.
Wow, what a great bunch. I can't say enough about the Down East hospitality. Be sure to join us next week as Norm and I now head about an hour south on Highway 230 to the town of Clarenville. This spot was the starting point for the laying of the first transatlantic telephone cable back in 1955. Today it's known as the hub of the East Coast and makes a great central jumping off point for your motorcycle tour of this island. Still ahead, we're off to the woods as Brian Hudgens stares down round 4 in our 6-part challenge. And Aliki tackles the learning curve.
Welcome back as Total Truck presents The Experience. I'm Dave Hatchett. It's time now for the learning curve. And this week, Aliki has ridden up to Mosport International Raceway.
This season on Motorcycle Experience, Aliki's been exploring the various ways you can get into motorcycling. So far, she's explored typical street licensing courses. And more recently, she came up with a very cool alternative, a beginner's course at an off-road riding facility. This week, she's found an even cooler way to catch the motorcycle bug, at the racetrack, or more specifically, the CBR 125 Challenge Road Racing Series. We've kept our eye on this racing series since its inception back in 2008, and man has it taken off, especially with the younger crowd, including 14-year-old Stacy Nesbitt. Aliki caught up with the teen last fall at Mosport as she was preparing to wrap up her second season of racing, possibly capturing the series championship.
So what got you into racing the CBR 125 League?
Well, we always went to the races. My family and I, we always went to go watch the races. And my sister and my dad started pit crewing for Vanessa Guerrero and Franklin Dominguez. And then we found out about the CBR class, and my dad said, okay, well, let's try it at the regional. And we went to the race school and we got onto the bike, and my sister got her license, but I didn't do it the first year. And then after a year went by, I got my license. And then last year I rode, and this is my second year riding it.
Did you have any prior experience on dirt bikes or anything like that?
Nope, nothing. It's actually quite funny. Two days before I did the race school, I learned how to change gear with the clutch.
So you just got right into it. Yep. This is how you ride a motorcycle, this is how you shift the gears, this is how you race a motorcycle.
Pretty much, yeah.
Cool.
It wasn't until I did the fast school towards the end of the year last season, that I actually found out about the corner speed, lean angle, throttle control, different ways to control the bike without just the handlebars, and just all the basics that I hadn't known before riding it.
So where do your parents play a role in all of this?
My dad really has been really good with the mechanics, getting the bike ready, cleaning up the bike, transportation. I'm only 14, so I can't really get a job, so they've been paying for it. We've been trying to get sponsors to help out with that, and it's been hard, but they've stuck by it. Both of them are really supportive. Both of them love bikes, both love the racing. Mom's more the you go and vent to. She makes the food, makes it all calm and homey, and she tries to help out as much as she can. So if my dad asks for some help, she'll offer to help. She'll take the timer and do time. She'll do tire pressures, so she does help out as well.
So you do get a lot of support.
Yeah, a lot of support from my family.
Would you extend that family out into the CBR 125 family as well?
I would say so. All of us, the CBRs are more along the same age group. You'll get the random older person that's maybe in their 20s. Sometimes you'll get the even older people that come out, or guest riders. But no, the normal ones, we're all like just one big family, and we have a lot of fun with each other on and off the track. Like, sometimes it can be frustrating because you want to try and beat them, whatever, but then you get off the track, it's like, you make the best pass! That's awesome! You got the best time! And yeah, we're like one big happy family, and then if we got a problem, we feel like, okay, we can go talk to you. We're not just, complaining, oh, you passed me, so I'm mad at you, don't talk to me. But no, we feel we can talk to them. That was a bit dangerous. We talk and we help each other, so it's fun.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
We got fingers crossed that you win.
Big time.
This weekend.
Yeah.
Later that day, Stacy won her race and captured the CBR 125 Challenge Championship, making her the first woman to ever win a national championship here in Canada. Congratulations, Stacy. Well done. That's quite a feat. Now it's contest time. You may recall that a couple of years ago, Motorcycle Experience toured the north shore of the St. Lawrence, from Kingston to Quebec City, and visited more than a few forts and historic 1812 battlefield sites along the way. So in honor of the upcoming War of 1812 bicentennial this summer, we've put together a brand new Riders Club contest. The 1812 Riders Club contest, to be exact. All you have to do to enter is visit the motorcycleexperience.ca website and join our email Riders Club, just like these folks did. If you're already a Motorcycle Experience Riders Club member, then just reconfirm your email address. And that's it. You've entered. On June 3rd, 15 days before the 200th anniversary of the start of the war, we'll pick our winner. This year, we're giving away a very exclusive MV Agusta prize pack full of all kinds of goodies, including a limited edition hardcover book and a full-face helmet. Good luck, everybody. Still ahead, we'll find out if Brian is an old softie. Stay with us. Portions of Motorcycle Experience are brought to you in part by Honda, BMW Motorrad. Welcome back as Toyota Truck presents The Experience. I'm Dave Hatchin. Recently, Brian Hudgen and I kicked off a series of 6 challenges designed to put his riding skills to the ultimate test. In rounds 1 and 2, we tested Brian's ability to ride a V-twin cruiser, both slow and fast, over, shall we say, a loose surface. He came through with flying colors. During round 3, we moved from the cruiser riding category to the dual sport mode.
when we presented Brian with an adventure sport challenge that required the use of a GPS. Sadly, Brian failed to make the grade, bumping the score to 2-1. This week, we're back in the woods for challenge number 4. And let me tell you, if Brian had trouble reading the GPS, wait till he discovers that his Super Tenere has a flat. Now, I'm not going to throw Brian completely under the bus with this one. Today, he'll get some assistance from a multi-champion off-road expert, Blair Sharpless.
Nice, it's right off the rim.
Dave,
Yeah.
what are you doing to my bike?
Hello, Brian. Welcome to challenge number 4. Have a look at that tire.
It's flat. It's not even on the rim.
Absolutely, and that's the challenge. Of course, you have to change your tire. You're out in the woods, but you've brought a spare tube and some extra tools, right?
No, I haven't.
Well, I'd like to introduce you to a 14-time Canadian Enduro
Brian,
champion and Hall of Famer, Blair Sharpless.
Hi, Blair.
Blair is going to show you how to change a tire because in every motorcyclist's life, at least once, and especially enduro riders and adventure riders, you're going to get a flat, right? Do you think you can change this tire in 10 minutes?
It's going to be a stretch. I haven't changed a tire in 15 years, so.
Okay, well, this is the man for the job. He's going to show you how to do it. You got 10 minutes to change a tire or you lose the challenge. You think you can do it?
No problem. Probably do it in half, Brian.
Right on. All right, well, I'm
Along with
excited.
me, and I'll show you what we should have for a toolkit.
Okay.
So Brian, this is some of the tools. I went and looked at the bike, what we'll need to change a tire. We need a rear axle wrench, tire levers. This was just to pull the valve stem out because we're going to put a tube in. That's the best way to fix a flat on the trail. And the rest is air supply. You can carry a pump, you can carry CO cartridges. This is an adapter to go on there, and then the Allen keys we need. But your toolkit should hold more than this. You should look at your bike, see what you need, and carry it with you to do the basic repairs on the trail. We'll take our tools over next to our bike because as soon as we touch the bike with a tool, I'm sure Dave's going to start the watch.
Oh, he will.
So we want to make sure that we've got the tools close at hand. So I don't think I'm allowed to touch the bike, but I'll coach you through it.
Why a tube in a tubeless tire?
Well, because if we use a plug, how are we going to inflate it quick enough? You know, you can't get it to bead up because you need the air around the side like a tire machine. Or if you slash the sidewall from pinching on a sharp rock, plug won't work at all. And so the tube, you know you're going to get it fixed. You know you'll be able to put air in it. Even with a pump, you can do it. Okay, so first thing, Brian, loosen the axle.
Now things are getting really interesting. With the score currently 2 for Brian and 1 for me, he really has to ace this tire test to stay in the game. Tune in next week and see how he does. Well, that's it for this week's program, folks. We're all out of time, but we leave you now with our roving reporter, Paul Connard. This week, he's out at the Ice House in Campbellville, Ontario. So until next week, keep your feet on the pegs and your right hand cranked. Bye for now.
Hey Dave, it's a great day and it's a great turnout. I'm here with Anthony at the Ice House. Anthony, tell us about your motorcycle.
What you have here is a Truxton 2010 SE Special Edition Cafe Racer.
And what's your favorite part about this motorcycle?
Smooth ride, the way it looks, the way the engine looks, just love it. Love a Brit bike.
Yeah. And why did you pick this particular model? Why not a 4-cylinder? And why a Triumph 2-cylinder?
Just the way it sounds, the way it looks, the feel of the bike. I just love it.
And what brings you to the Ice House on Sunday mornings?
Stress relief. This place is fantastic for that. Great Canadians. We all have a good time, talk about bike, and just, you know, life in general.
Well, it's a very nice looking bike. I really like the paint.
Well, thank you.